Good morning from Sacred Space at Titania's Realm. It's 8:55 a.m. on the 15th of May 2024. It's a beautiful morning. It's Wednesday today. I've had I've had all sorts of hells navigating to my journal page of even date because my laptop's still not right. It won't let me click on the pages in Vocal Media to bring up the journal entries. So I had to circumvent it by going, clicking on open in a new tab one by one. So if I look a bit wrung out and frustrated, it's from a very simple task being made triple times the work to have to go in individually. But intrepid as ever, I have managed it, but I'm very inclined to throw this laptop out the window or in the bin. But it's a good laptop, and my friend Peter says we can bring it back to factory settings, which we may have to do because I don't want to go through this ordeal every time I want to make a video from my journal entries. Oddly, I had no trouble getting into Facebook, so it's just something weird with my laptop. I checked that I could get into Vocal Media from my iPhone, and because that has been glitching in recent days, they've had issues, but it wasn't an issue with them this morning. It was definitely my laptop not wanting to navigate to pages. So, but anyway, here we are. It's a glorious morning. My friend Lynn's arriving at around about 10:30, 11, she said, to share her birthday condensed milk pie that her daughter made for her. She insists on sharing it with me. Isn't she sweet? I said, it's not my birthday, it's your birthday. Stop giving all your food away and all your joy away, and you're allowed to be happy, Lynn, and just have things all for yourself. She said, no, it's a massive big pie and I want to share it with you. So she's really a darling, and I'm very fortunate with my wonderful, loving friends. And then this afternoon I have my fortnightly debrief with my psychiatrist. So so I'm looking forward to that, and doing my own journaling and analysing of myself via my journal entries as well is also very therapeutic, and the dancing on the weekend's very therapeutic. So let no one say I've not put in the work in my personal development over the last 20 or so, or 25 years in therapy. I do get exhausted and frustrated that I still can't have the outcomes I've been yearning and praying for all my life, but some things come down to fate, and I just have to accept and carry on living my best life as best as I can and being joyful and remaining in love with my beautiful friends who love me back, and in love with our planet, and in love with Charlie, who's probably going to poo down my back. Come on, Charlie, up there. And, in love with my sacred space, home and garden, and just, in love with the gods and the fae, and of course, the holiest of the holies. And, maybe one day my true love will claim me for his own, and we can begin a loving partnership. That would be lovely. It's not terribly realistic, but it would be lovely. But miracles happen every day, and I have to laugh. I'm still sort of kind of trapped in this kind of hell loop of like almost childlike entanglement where I can't move forward as an adult woman and say, right, this is how it's going to be. Bing, bang, boom. because I'm very conscious of people having free will and, not hurting others in the equation. Not that anyone else in my previous history was ever conscientious about not hurting me, but I don't want to become those kinds of monsters. I'm better than that, and if it means I stay on my own for the rest of my life, it's not actually so bad, because freedom is also something I treasure greatly, very, very greatly. Anyway, I'll carry on with my stories of even date. Memories, 15th of May 2024. If you want to read it in vocal media at your own pace, or if you want to read any other journal entries or any other of my stories that are up there, I haven't updated to 2024, so it'll say 2023, some cases 2022, but life moves on in the space-time continuum, and we all know where we are at and what year it is, so the stories are updated if I have something new to write each day, and it's all happening in a far out way. So today's title is Beautiful Lights Shining in My Garden, and same situation today. It's a beautiful glow in the garden this morning, and my beautiful actress daughter strutting her stuff, smiley face, and a visit from my beautiful friend who's about to visit me again this morning, and life is good, smiley face. Life really is good, even though we're under some kind of weird alien invasion and bioengineered invasion, and we've all been taken over by something really, really fucking dark, and not all of us are fully human anymore, including myself, since I caught the COVID last October. And we're all struggling for equilibrium and our humanness and our health. Well, I've struggled with my health all my life, so there is that. But it's all a bit kind of confronting and disturbing people. But overall, every day in every way, with the help of the invisible, benevolent, loving ones, we shall overcome, as we have overcome many, many things in human history. I guess in ancient times our DNA was tampered before, and that's what separated us from the simians. So I guess you could look on the upside that well, I don't know if it's a positive thing. Something that kills us and interferes with our fertility is hardly humanistic and positive. So I really can't put a spin on it right now. But I'm just conscious that we should be loving each other and protecting each other as best as we can, and living human lives and our human minds and our human bodies for as long as we possibly can. Make love, not war, and honor the ancient ones who we did against this interference and certainly warned me. And honor your ancestors, and protect your children as best as you possibly can, and just live full and happy and vibrant, joyous lives, because it's your life and it's now or never. And strive to maintain your body autonomy and be free and happy. And yes, did I mention in love? Because love is the law. Always and forever, love is the highest order of the cosmic law. Even our alien overlords are have to cede to that. They really do. So I don't know who they are or where they come from, where exactly they're hiding out, but the benevolent ones that we call angels have our backs. I have every faith in that. Unfortunately, because we have free will, we were given a choice, and many of us chose unwisely, and well, we weren't given all the information. This is the problem. We were tricked and lied to. So and it infuriates me beyond belief, by the way. Yes, Charlie, it infuriates her too, because everything is interconnected. Here's a photo of my beautiful Lynn who visited me. Oh, you can't see because of the bloody reflections. Wait a minute. Let's try this way. No, can't see because it's too much shadow. Wow. Well, put it this way. Ah, yes, you can kind of see her now. There she is. Bobo was lying at her feet, but I'm not sure if you can see him. But anyway, the beautiful bow and my beautiful friend, and that was taken in 2022, so 2 years ago. I posted photos of some opals that I had been polishing up, but I'm not going to bother showing you because it's not really working out, is it, with the reflections? So if you want to look at the photos, they're up there under 15th of May 2023 in Vocal Media. And, you know, it's not all that important. It's only important to me because I was taking pride in my work and my creativity and the opals and the magic and the awe of life and beauty and gemstones, and it's all quite wonderful. I posted here a quote from Wanderings. Author is Finn Butler. Everyone who terrifies you is 65% water, and everyone you love is made of stardust. And I know sometimes you cannot even breathe deeply, and the night sky is no home, and you have cried yourself to sleep enough times that you are down to your last 2%. But nothing is infinite, not even loss. You are made of the sea and the stars, and one day you are going to find yourself again. To you, Finn Butler. It's true. And those who are supposed to love you will abandon you and kick you down when you start to succeed or dare even dream of success, even when that success is such a small thing in the larger realm of things. They will call you bougie or entitled or spoilt because really they can't be bothered. So remember who you are. Hold yourself precious. Keep shining. Try not to become the shining. It's a slippery axe. Fuck them. Amen, sister. There's a beautiful picture attached to that, but again I won't bother because they're not showing up. 15th of May 2021. Still cleaning up after my dead mother's excessive opulence. I remembered that it was my task to polish this brass on the drinks trolley as a teenager. Nothing much has changed, only I am creating new versions of opulence out of the bones of the long dead past. I actually made some brass bangles out of the brass edging from that drinks trolley that broke, and it was quite difficult, but I managed it. But they didn't sell, so I've still got them. Oh, but anyway, I transmuted that old energy into something new, and I'm quite proud of myself for doing that. Always in a process of metamorphosis or transmutation, or at times transmogrification and transubstantiation. But yeah, the becoming, babies, the becoming. Here I wrote, absurdist. Still in all, I am conscious of not wasting the resources that was put into creating this in the first place. If someone worked hard to create it, then what privilege is it of mine to toss it away, use it or lose it, cherish all things gifted me by the gods, laughing out loud. I wonder if any of the hard work, just might turn us around because there's glare on my face and there's light in my eyes. Oh yeah, maybe that's a little bit better. Maybe this way. Trying to get the sweet spot, people. The sweet spot. Yeah. A little bit too much in shadow now. Let's turn us around. Let's see. It's the trouble with having the laptop outside is reflections and shadows and anyway, we'll get there, my friends. We will get there. Oh my goodness. Right. I'm still in shadow, but never mind. I give up. Where was I? I wonder if any of my hard work or efforts will ever be cherished, or am I always to be sidelined or tossed away by the vagaries of men? Never mind. I am rising again and solidifying my inner core with a titanium determination to thrive. Oh, now what? Got some weird screen. Hang on. Hope I don't lose the page because it was very hard to get to. It took me like 15 minutes. Anyway, where are we? Right, here we are. All is not lost. I posted a picture of the brass strips that I had actually sawed off the brass edging. You might be able to see it now that I've moved this around. Yeah, almost. I actually had to cut them off with a saw blade, circular saw blade on my Dremel, which was quite freaking scary and difficult. Did I mention scary? Anyway, I managed not to injure myself, thank the gods. Cutting the brass edging from the original trolley top to size as a surround for my upcycled inlay piece, which didn't work out after all that effort, which was disappointing, but because that was the plan. Oi! I also bent the Dremel cutter, so had to resort to cutting with metal shears. Nothing ventured, nothing gained, right? It's actually cutting easier but slower with the hand tool. Oh, well, see, I'd actually forgotten that I had to do it with the shears. Oh yes, that is the shears in the photo. Well, there you go. Mama T, intrepid as ever, if I applied myself to my love life and the object of my affections was single and available, I'd be very intrepid indeed. It'd be dynamite. It'd be on for young and old. But there's no point putting all that energy into someone who's not available, because it's just cruel and, you know, a terrible emotional ache that will never go away. And I want my love life to be clean and clear and beautiful and true and loyal and faithful and devoted to me. And I don't want triangular, messy involvements. I say I don't want it, but I still flirt occasionally, because the love is real, people. The love is real. But it can't go anywhere serious because of that situation, and I'm very conscious of that. Here's another strip of, no, can't see it. Yeah, there's another strip of brass that I finagled from that trolley and upcycled into bracelets. Alright. It's a pity that all my hard work has not been rewarded by actually selling, so I'm a bit distraught about that, quite frankly, but we're living in difficult times and I'm never that well, so I haven't really pushed the point too hard. But I'm going to go, if I'm well enough the week before, please God, I'm going to try markets again on the 9th of June, and maybe, just maybe, things will start to sell. Who knows? All that hard work, it's like, it's a shame to just have it lying around doing nothing, really. Here's another photo of that beautiful Italian inlaid. Charlie? No, can we see it or not? No. I don't know what's going on. What's going on? It's weird because we could see the brass, but we can't pick up the Italian inlay. Anyway, I showed it to you yesterday, did I not? In the actual finished piece. So all is not lost, people of Earth. All is not lost. My hands are very swollen and I am so exhausted that I have a high-pitched tone in my ears, caused by the noise of the mini grinding drill all freaking day and yesterday with the orbital sander. I worked until 6:30 p.m. I have had dinner, and frankly, with this excess energy, I should go dancing, but enough is enough. I've pushed my middle-aged body too much in the past few days. I missed out on dancing last night as both my favourite bands were playing at Brooklyn Standard and Susie Wong's respectively. I've never been to Susie Wong's, I don't think. Pretty sure I haven't been there. But they're owned by the same owners, so Susie Wong's apparently is a really cool club too. I just haven't ever gone there, but I really love the Brooklyn Standard and I'm treated so beautifully there. I really feel welcome and appreciated, so I'll keep going there and enjoying my bands there. No idea who is playing tonight, but I am exhausted from supercharging my creativity anyway. I do feel like a drink though, dressing up and showing up and checking out a vibe somewhere. It's been 4 months since I went dancing. I am glad I'm channeling my energy into my art instead of unfurling my heart, mind, body and energy meridians in disrespectful spaces which gifted me nothing but horror. Well, that I will be alluding to, what year was that? 2021, yeah. I was fair pissed off with the way I was being treated at the Treasury Casino even back then. So the more they upped the ante, the more pissed off I got, till eventually I just stopped going there. I'm not wasting my time in cesspits of evil anymore. If you can't treat me with basic courtesy and respect, I'm out of there. It's just that simple. At least this time I can see and enjoy the results of my labours and have something tangible to show for it, instead of sneering ghoulish ex-lovers and ex-casino and or pub friends. What a fucking farce all that was. Still in all, I miss dancing wildly and honing my craft and not giving a fuck. Time to push myself out in the world again, and hope I find kinder, more loyal, more decent companions on my wild, witchy nights. And I have indeed. To you, Brooklyn Standard, and to you, Koala Tavern, and even bigger smooches to you, alter egos, and Ramjet. Haha, sometimes when I scroll through my memories on Facebook, I come across such sublime writing that I think to myself, why have you not written your book yet, Tanya? Then I kick myself for aspiring to success. Fear. I had to laugh as I have reposted today's memories on Vocal Media. I am steadily inflicting my pain and life experiences and sublime triumphs on a wider audience if they publish it, as they don't like my spiritual or religious references. All good in the hood. I am opening up more and more like an unfurling lotus trapped in mud, but the fecundity and beauty is amazing. I am inspired and riding some new spiritual gilded vein, and it's rewarding, if only in my newfound motivations to create and build and succor a new life. Amen, sister. I had some healings from several shamans back in 2019. I did not think they had worked, but oh boy, whatever was tweaked and poked and pulled up from the depths of my soul is definitely spreading like honey on toast now. Yummy. Trust in the gods. Trust in your higher self. Love, light and truth. Integrity and stoicism and humour that is not a tumour. And a whimsy in my flimsy but berserker outlook. Look out, here I come. 15th of May 2020. I posted this gorgeous photo which I hope we can pick up. No. What a shame. It's of Beauregard, and he's curled himself around my neck and his head's here, and I'm lying back and laughing and he's snuggling into me. He really was a beautiful dog and loved to snuggle with his mama T. Here I write, I had a lovely day with my friend Lynn. Together we celebrated our belated birthdays. Lynn bought me lots of goodies. I cooked the yummy sausages for my dinner tonight. Then just now Bobo insisted on a snuggle, so I am very spoilt. 15th of May 2018. I want to live in Byron Bay, in a house overlooking the sea, and live happily, in brackets, peacefully, ever after in my fairy tale existence. But ho-hum, tiddly-tum, the Tanya is a bum with no mun. But magic happens, babies, so I enjoy my day trips, which bring healing and happiness. Yesterday we were studying a house on Belongil Beach with big picture windows which looked a lot like the Hodemaker's house with its raw weathered timbers. But the big picture windows reminded me of my childhood home, so it was a composite conglomerate memory, and I realised what I want is to go home, but home to a place that is mine, without the turgid, filthy horror of my childhood. I want to recreate that time of bliss and ease on the beach without the abusers, and what holds me back in life is fear of it all turning to shit again, like every home I ever had until this one, that we had escaped from and rebuilt my life, scrap by scrappy scrap. There is nothing to fear but fear itself, quoth my occultist father, the infernal optimist. Himself died a veritable homeless man, the itinerant lust of wandering swishing through his thrombotic veins. Warfarin and wanderlust, in the gods we trust, in poverty and trauma, we throw ourselves on the keenly wrought blades of fickle fate, and what shall be born but guts and glory, or masticated chicken nuggets, as we can never be certain of our ends in our burnt-out, oblivious days, spelt D-A-Z-E. Well, my beloved, my daughter, with inherently genetic woes and climate changeling engineering, reminded me that a house on the beach, even if I could afford it, would kill me as, you know, tsunamis are coming. And I replied, so is winter, and tsunamis remain a relatively rare occurrence. But yes, a grave concern, a rather watery grave concern. But all this fear-mongering we're fed on a daily basis is really grinding my gears. But I have dwelt on the edge of society, reason and poverty for so many, many years that what is one tsunami when I have lived through tempests and destructions both real, for example, the Wahine disaster when I was 3, actually I was a few days short of turning 3, 2 days short to be exact, and the mini tornado at Hervey Bay in 1992, and mental, example, complex PTSD from a prejudicial childhood, abuse, bullying, divorce, more toxic, dangerous love affairs, hell, even an entire pub, and now the casino, had a ride on the cascading Tanya train wreck of disaster and trauma, because they really were that inept and infantile and vicious. So, fuck them all. When all I wanted was a safe place and a loving home and my tiny nuclear family and love, all along it was staring me in the face. Here I am that, all that I am, the breath, the spell, the gift. So here it is, the blazing naked awareness. I am that I am and always shall be in this existence. Free, fuck the rest, nothing else matters but this moment in time and space. This finite, filial, finial on the crown of the God and the Goddess. True love, eternity and Makom. I and thou was in this place and I did not know it. What delicious, capricious folly, by golly. Sitting outside in my garden, which is bathed in radiant light, like angels have danced in my circle and are still smiling but exhausted, glowing light beams of bliss. And there's a photo attached, but I showed you the real thing again this morning. History repeating beautifully and blessedly. And my offerings yesterday to the Fae, I can tell, have been gratefully and graciously appreciated, because the vibration in my garden is just magnificent this morning, and I am so grateful. I am so grateful to be living in harmonic resonance with all that is, was and ever shall be, even though I'm alone and I exist on a disability pension and I live in housing commission and there's just me and Charlie now. I'm still the most blessed and magical and beautiful and wealthy, because my wealth is spiritual, people, woman I know today. I'm sure there are many others out there like me, and wherever you are, but you're feeling my vibe right now. I realised yesterday that on the 5th of May I have lived in my housing commission house for 15 years. It's 21 years now. Wow, time flew. Still alone and in poverty, but I have begun to heal my life in profound ways. It has taken 5.5 years since the will dispute ended to start to breathe and gather my energy again. Some days I feel like I can still turn my life around and be a successful, functioning member of society again. Others, like today, I'm going to move us into the light. Is that better? Oh, yes. But now I struggle to read the words on the screen, so that's not so good. Where are we? All right, here we go. I'll repeat that last sentence. Some days I feel like I can still turn my life around and be a successful, functioning member of society again. Others, like yesterday, I just barely dragged my meat carcass of a body through the day, but was fortunate to be in Byron Bay, which always rejuvenates my spirit. And no, I'm not happy. I'm still not happy. Let us move. Charlie's over here. She was right. Let us move next to Charlie in the shade. It's just too much reflections and refractions. It's driving me bonkers, people. Oh my goodness. Right, here we go. Oh, that's better. That's much better. I know better. I always try to do it out in the sun in the garden and it never works out, does it? I always have to resort to doing it in the entry. Oh well, here we go. Hello Charlie. She's happy because I've joined her now. You knew to get out of all that bright light and shadow and refractions, didn't you, Charlie? You were smarter than Mummy. You gave up ages ago. She's so funny. She really is. Mama's here, she says. Mama's here. Yes. All right, where were we? Others like yesterday, I just barely dragged my meat carcass of a body through the day, but was fortunate to be in Byron Bay, which always rejuvenates my spirit. So, even as I felt like I was moving through mud and my brain felt like it was gurgling down a drain somewhere in a cosmic toilet system, in fact, there was a moment on the glorious beach when I turned to my daughter and I said, I need grounding as I am not here anymore. So she nodded back. You are okay, Mum. You are in Byron on the beach. So I was having a really bad mental health day that day. I was really in a really quite severe dissociative state. Like some of my disassociations aren't always that noticeable, but that was a bad day, and I was actually quite astonished to see that my daughter actually responded appropriately and was actually being quite compassionate and kind, because she doesn't always get it, you know. But yeah, that was a beautiful moment when I could see she was seeing that I was really struggling to remain grounded in ordinary reality in my own body, mind and spirit, which is why I love to go to Byron Bay so much and why I recommend it to all my friends that are suffering burnout or exhaustion or, you know, mental health issues. That or any beach anywhere that you love is the place to go when you're feeling depleted and distraught and not grounded. Go to the sea, and for some people, my daughter prefers mountains. Go to the mountains, but go and commune with nature, and it will help you reintegrate and realign and refocus, and just get perspective and a measure of peace, so you can, you know, nourish yourself to get through the next week or the next month or however long it takes till you need another Byron Bay hit again. And I even told my psychiatrist, I said, tell all your patients to go there as often as they can, and they won't need the fricking psych meds and all the other bullshit we pump into ourselves to try and be happy. All you need is love and nature and harmonic resonance with all that is, was, and ever shall be via that modality. You know, it's there, it's free, it doesn't cost anything, and you're immersed in such beauty. And, you know, even if you don't get better right away, you know, over time it does heal you. I credit it with being a huge contribution to my healing over the last 15, 20 years. But I guess you kind of have to really love nature and respond to it. Some people have been so cut off that they don't realise how important and necessary it really is. So especially those of you who've been entrained into having your head in virtual reality headsets and gaming, and you've been cut off from nature most of your childhood, adolescence and life, then being in nature can be a bit freaking confronting the first few times. You've forgotten that you are actually a human animal and that you need to be in communication with nature at all times, by the way. It's another reason why I'm always barefoot in my garden, and I'm always grounding and, having that contact with the earth, because of my mental health issues. I can disassociate and become very detached, kind of like living in a virtual reality headset, but one created by my own mind to protect me, by the way. But there's times when I actually don't need protection, but my reptilian brain kind of, does that anyway out of force of habit and overprotecting, and, hence it creates situations where I'm angry and stressed and in fight and flight mode when I don't need to be, when life is actually quite sweet. So I have to, as I say, ground and be close to Mother Earth. Mother Earth, the only true mother many of us will ever had, unless you had a particularly good and nurturing mother, in which case you were and are very, very blessed indeed. I continue reading. So I walked out into the sea, which was crystal clear and so sanctifying, and hitched my skirts and let the water rush around me, cooling and soothing the heady, gritty, spiritual and or mental mush that was inside me and around my auric field. My inner child wanted to throw herself into the sea and keep swimming to oblivion, but it was too frightening and cold. So I let the waters reclaim some of the pain and rejoiced. Then we continued walking along the beach, and I delighted in watching my little Beauregard scamper along the sand. He would run ahead, then circle back to me, as he too has anxiety, and he never likes to be too far from his mama T. We walked to a park off Belongil Beach and found some swings hung from a tree. So I sat on one and sang merrily, I want to swing from the chandeliers. Oh, Cookie just arrived with some other birds. How delightful. Hello, Cookie, and all you Indian miners. I want to swing from the chandeliers, as frankly I have swung from them all my life, and that's how I roll, babies. I also swung on a swing on a veranda at New Rebar outside a shop, so Jared teased me about my inner child, Miss Five, who never ceases playing with the cosmos, the earth, and sometimes my mind. She's quite a child, Miss Five. She's pristine and powerful, sometimes a hell of a brat, and controls me a little bit too much, so I have to tell that kid to get back in her box and behave herself. But Miss Five, my Miss Five persona, is probably why I'm still alive today. It's like hitting the reset button to the time before all the abuse really got beyond intense. The time before the sexual abuse started, when Miss Five was untouched and untainted by human hands. And, it is what it is, people. I have always been a swinger from the eternal branches of the tree of life, leaping and landing on all the Sephirot, watching my love life seep from the broken kleepot and the fucked up crackpots leaching and pissing into my existence. But wash away, wish away, sashay away, and I am cleaned and cleared and beautiful and hopeful again. All along I have been loved unconditionally by my precious gifted friends, and my doctor, by the way, who sometimes have had to despair with me and other times have graced and ennobled me and held me dear, so I can live another day, another decade, an eternity in the mind of God, but a bountiful, blessed microsecond also. Blip, zip, all gone. The dreams we created and the pain we percolated and the joys we immolated and the realities we thought we manifested, which were recreated so we could feel safe and warm and comforted, which we tore down and prefabricated again and again until we felt a little too insane in the very membrane of our body, mind and soul. But we slipped through that cosmic egg and pop went the weasel. And here we go again, another day in paradise. But breathe, Tanya. There is love. So much love still waiting to be found and witnessed and created and blessed and blossomed out in fractal enlightenment every day and every way, in a kaleidoscope of colours, shapes and sounds, which your mind refuses to see, as it is so expansive you will go a little mad and no one will ken you, and that too shall be a gift. Sighs. Psychedelic dreamer is back in the room from a dream she has had recurring for days. 4,000, that was the number shown her. Also, a stressful message from her mother trying to tell her about an old friend that got lost along the way and became an alcoholic, and somehow my mother's hag spirit was trying to blame the dreamer. But fuck that shit, it was a dream, and I, psychedelic dreamer, am not responsible for the choices made by other former friends or lovers. I am not God. In fact, I am barely even human anymore, barely alive anymore. So the hellion spirits of ancient tormentors, dementors, can fuck off. Happy days are here again. You took what you could from me, but I am growing out again, in love, in truth, and in joy. I am grateful with the love I have been gifted with from my beautiful Crystal and my gorgeous Jared and all of you here on Facebook and in real life. I am grateful to God and Byron Bay and my own sacred space here in Holland Park. Time to get up and kiss the day. And Charlie Bird. Kissy kissy Charlie. She's not in a kissing mood. Do I get a kiss? Who are you looking at, staring at the corner, like with great intensity? What are you looking at, my darling? Can you see somebody? Is Bobo here? Is Bobo here? Can you see the fairies? Can I have a kiss? She really can see something. She's reacting as if something's there. Anyway. 15th of May 2018. Oh, it's just a photo of me. Won't worry about it. You're looking at the real thing now. Photo of Charlie Bird. Well, you're looking at the real thing now, Charlie Bird. 15th of May 2017. I was watching an episode of Wisdom Teachings by David Wilcock the other night. He stated something very interesting. He said, the more free you become, the more people, in brackets, society, will view you as evil. I have suffered that. I actually had a wealthy man in my Jewish community tell me 15 years ago that people in the community were envious of my freedom. Actually, I'm going to say his name. He was a very kind man to him. Hopefully he was kind to himself, but he was a very kind man to me. His name is David Groan. And yes, I was quite perturbed when he told me people were frightened of my freedom, or were envious of my freedom was the actual word. And I continue. I scoffed at the time. What freedom? Poverty, trauma, isolated, abandoned, and unable to find genuinely loving sexual partnerships for the long term. Crazy, no? But now I realize he meant that I am perceived as evil. Evil for continuing to survive in a derelict society that thrives on abusing others. Evil for saying no. Evil for staying single, and evil for staying relatively sane. Evil for staying alive when so many tried to kill me, physically, financially, socially. If I am truly as evil as this place wants me to be, then I must be doing something right. And just for kicks, because I have a mischievous sense of the absurd at times, I added a link to the YouTube song by Eartha Kitt, I Wanna Be Evil. And if you go and have a look at that, I think you'll find that's another song that was created just for me, one of my other war cry songs. It's delightful. I'd sing it to you, but I can't remember all the actual words, so have a look at it on Spotify. I Want to Be Evil by Eartha Kitt. It's just delightful and humorous too. Now where has my mouse gone? My mouse is gone. Walkabout. Trigger warning, child sexual abuse, neglect. So if you're in a fragile state of mind, which happens to us all from time to time, go and take a break from the Tanya and come back to me later, or fast forward, or go and have a nice cup of tea, hopefully a nice piece of cake. Do something joyous and rejoicing. Don't need to wallow in my horror. It's bad enough that I have to wade through it with regular monotony, but It is what it is, my darlings. I am healing and my life is beautiful and I have overcome. And that, my friends, is worth all the houses and all the golds and all the truest, deepest lovers in the known cosmos, the overcoming. The infant Tanya. The baby came into the world, shaken up, disturbed, torn from her mother's womb, premature, lost, confused, dazed, bright lights, voices, noises, people preparing to bring her into the new world, a world she had only heard from the inside out, echoing through the birth chamber, through the walls of her mother's belly, through the screaming and shouting externalized outside of her, stress, unkindness, regret. She lay there swaddled, waiting for a mother's love. A father came and gathered her into his arms and made sweet promises of devotion, of love, of acceptance. His body was warm and his scent was pungent and masculine and somehow comforting. He marvelled at her tiny feet and tiny legs and told her how like her mother's they were. But she was only a baby. She didn't even know she had feet or arms. She was only consciousness and hunger and yearning and thirst and a funny rumbling in her tummy that she couldn't quite understand but knew had to be purged. That funny rumbling in the tummy that stayed with her for months. Purged it was, upways and downways, acid reflux, the gift that keeps giving. Why was such a young baby born with acid reflux? Because it was already born with the ignominy and the betrayals and the lack of love. She didn't see her mother for 24 hours, or was it 48 hours? She doesn't remember. She was only a baby. I think you've pooed down my back, Charlie. Oh well. I think it actually was 48 hours, my father told me. My mother was desperately ill because she had toxemia, which was part of the reason why I was, from her womb untimely ripped to save my life, actually. Yes, we were both at great risk of dying, so I was delivered by caesarean section. Kookaburra's back, he's sitting on the fence eating worms watching me. It's just delightful. I'm so grateful for my garden. I really am. Where was I? She doesn't remember. She was only a baby. When she did, she felt the sense of detachment. The baby had been torn from her mother's womb and her mother was released of the burden she had borne for 8 months. And she was joyous and she was free and she focused on going to work, making money. Money was her baby, her creation, her focus, her locus, her social justice. But the baby came home already feeling quite sick and was cared for by her father, her mother, her 15 years older sister, a godfather. 4 caregivers on rotation. So mother could work and father could work and sister could go to school and the baby, egocentric and narcissistic as all babies are, cried and screamed and belched forth her food. She belched forth so much food that she actually began to starve and was ultimately hospitalized. Oh, dear Goddess, don't tell me. Oh, phew, thought I'd lost the page. That gave me a hell of a fright. I'm actually had to hold my breath. Oh, anyway, where are we? We've lost the plot. It's no longer letting me scroll down with the wheel, and the wheel of fortune is misbehaving, and again, this is literally an example of my life, people. It's why I can't succeed. Nothing ever works. Nothing ever completely works in my life. But when it does work, it is sublime and it is a force to be reckoned with, because I go full tilt into it, because I'm so joyous about things actually working for a change. I continue reading. And where does rage come from and pain come from in one so young? From neglect, from emotional abandonment, from fear she dreads to think of, from abuse. The baby grew up and grew older. The vomiting eventually ceased and the food eventually sustained. She was kept alive and cosseted up to a point. If you take into account the bacterial meningitis from a hot pool in Rotorua, or the measles and whooping cough she got when she was 4 and from which she nearly died of. Well, I nearly died of the bacterial meningitis as well. It's very, very close to death that day. 4 other children died that day. That's how bad it was. If you take into account the head injuries from concussion, slamming into the dashboard of a car at great speed on the way to hospital to fix a wound that had gashed her almost to the bone in her knee when she was 7, or the other concussions sustained at Sunday school, caused by a small boy and a heavy wooden gate smashed into her face, aged 6. I had a lump the size of an egg out extruding from my forehead. That was nasty. Well, that put me off Christianity for life, people. That was the end of that for me. I already wasn't happy about them telling that Christians are the only ones allowed into heaven. I thought to myself then and there, this is not my religion and I don't belong. And then just for, comedic effect, I got concussion as well, driving that point home. Literally, the Holy One has a great sense of humour at times. Well, he knows. He knew what my path was meant to be, and it gradually unfurled as I grew into older age now. But it's a beautiful thing, but there was a lot of freaking concurrent trauma as well I had to overcome. Being thrown into a glass door, sliding down it in slow motion, watching the face of her mother, her monster, in mock shame while waiting to be stabbed by 1,000 shards. Fortunately, the glass didn't break, but there was a moment in time as I was sliding down, waiting for the glass to shatter and cut me to pieces. Time stopped that day. It literally stopped. And when I hit the floor, when I slid down to the floor and I looked at my mother, I realised she was no mother to me, and I was not safe with her, nor would I ever be safe with her. And at 6 years old, I think I was 7 then, that was probably the most terrifying moment of my life, when I finally reached that realisation that I was not safe with my own mother. Or if you take into account the busted wrist that she achieved when she was 7 at a health camp. So a lot of really bad things happened to me when I was 7. Really fucking bad things. It's unbelievable but true. If you take into account the sexual abuse she endured from 6 to almost 8 from her ever-loving godfather, or yet if you take into account a young toddler covered in her own shit, which she had discovered in her crib and out of curiosity or boredom had explored with her tiny hands, her sister, my half-sister actually, screaming into her face and hitting her because she was a dirty, dirty pig, but she did not know what the shit was or where it came from. And this was how she first learned shame, and that bottoms were dirty, disgusting things, and that shit happens. If you take into account surviving her first 7 years, her first most precious formative years, being laughed at and mocked, the baby that crawled on the floor and ate cat food out of the cat bowl, tuna it was. She never could stomach tuna to this day now. If you take into account surviving into adulthood and her own nascent motherhood, surviving childbirth, which tore at her insides and eventually caused a prolapse. If you take into account her own determination to live in spite of it all, then this wasn't any kind of baby. This was some baby, a tiny baby still covered in down that survived. A tiny, perfect, pure and innocent baby, beautiful and precious and born to be free. Copyright Tanya Aarons, 15th of May 2017. Bear in mind I was still kind of grieving my father who had died on the 3rd of March that year. So there were kind of wounds that got ripped open, and I was kind of working through them, people. I'm trying to work out, it's come up with a message, Avast free antivirus, but I've paid for Avast, I've paid for premium antivirus. That never comes up. So I'm thinking it's not installed properly, and I've paid $68 for fucking nothing through my own stupidity because obviously isn't working. So that's why I'm looking frustrated. Are we still filming? That's why I'm looking frustrated, and it's grinding my gears, people. So it is what it is. 15th of May 2016, 2:53 p.m. Just woke up. Wow. Oh, now my battery's dying. Oh dear goddess. My friend Lynn's due to arrive soon too. Why won't my mouse? Come on, you need to work. Time is of the essence now. Right, here we go. 2:53 p.m. on 2016. Just woke up. Wow, was utterly exhausted all day yesterday and obviously today. I went to bed early last night at 11:30 p.m. Gee, I went to bed at 9 p.m. last night. I was so tired. Time to get out and observe the afternoon. 15th of May 2015. Shabbat Shalom Kulam. Oneg Shabbat for this little Jewish witch. There will be music, dancing, abyssal, sweet-loving southern man called Mr. Jack Daniels. The night will end with exhaustion, dragging my weak left leg behind me like a lame duck, and perhaps a nice chat to my street friend Katrina. If she is out. You know. Cranky bird. My usual Shabbos. She doesn't like me stealing kisses, obviously. #consent. It is cold tonight. Pity I don't have a live, warm-blooded man to keep me warm. Ha ha ha. Well, is it really a pity or is it actually a kindness given? Can't trust most of the bastards. That's the dilemma, people. So much abuse and heartache with the last lover meant that I had to shut down. I had to shut down my heart and coat it in frickin' titanium and just soldier on. Here's some photos of my cat and my chickens, and it's actually quite delightful. Can you see it? There we go. No, it's not really showing up, is it? Oh well. Back when I had hens and little Mushu was there. Road trip to Grafton on Monday. We have to relinquish Ramon and Suki because of biosecurity and transigence. I couldn't afford to take over Crystal's clown play business. Tragic. So 8 hours of driving, but Mona, Lua, Jared and I are coming along to support my best girl. We will share the driving. I decided we would take my car as it was just serviced and it is roomier for the 5 of us. There will be many tears over the bunnies, but so much love. Crystal says someone in Iluka has already offered to take them into their home. They will be very lucky. Ramon is one special rabbit, and Suki is adorable too. Later I wrote, if I could bottle this euphoria right now and store it in a treasure chest for later, I would. Bless. 3 p.m, not long awake, feeling such happiness. My prayers are answered. I had a really traumatic dream, but it resolved all my current fears and reminded me that I am safe, comfortable, greatly loved, if only by my cats, and I have every right to be happy. This awesome life has been what I've worked towards all my life. True freedom is knowing what to settle for and knowing what is right for a person. I fell in love and it has been beautiful, euphoric, then painful, then disappointing, then now back to euphoric. I had to remember to fall in love with me as much as loving another person. Love is never wasted. Like a boomerang, sooner or later, it curls back to you. I am grateful to Ramon, the rare rabbit, who comforted me in my sorrow on Tuesday. My cats, who also comforted me last night. It was cold, and they wanted Mama's body heat, albeit Socks gave me a hug. I am grateful to my beautiful human friends who care for me also. My daughter Crystal, my shining jewel in my firmament. I can't wait to watch her star rise in Europe. I'm sure they will love her as much as I do. 15th of May 2014. Opening night of the Bald Prima Donna. Proud mother here. That can't be right. That should be under 2015. Because she left in 2015. Maybe that wasn't the play. Oh well, anyway, I'm confused now. Proud mother here, supping on white wine and cheese. Life is never dull for the Tanya. Checks here, pat pat, all good for now. The play was superb, and I am not surprised Ormi, that's my mother's name for grandma, dropped in. Crystal was wearing her fox stole and her hat and looked so much like both her Polish Jewish Oma and her Polish Ormi that I almost cried. How funny genetics are, I wrote is but should be are. One never really dies while we have progeny. Little mannerisms and looks keep being recycled. Oh my God, the moment I took this picture, the song Lily Marlena played. Ormi approves after all. Thanks, Mum. Nice to know you are here. You left me broke, homeless, and fucked up, but your spirit is slowly evolving, I guess. Muzzle tov on that one. And it was a picture of the drinks trolley which Crystal broke during the course of that play, which is why I made it into, I upcycled it into a cutlery. I upcycled the inlay and glued it on top of one of my cutlery boxes for my silversmithing business I was hoping to manifest. It was going to be a shop display. But anyway, it is what it is, people. Laughing out loud, using my former mother's Italian inlaid drinks trolley as props, she would just die. I am glad Crystal was putting it to good use, although she had to bodgy it up a bit as it needs repairs. And my computer just died. Well, it did tell me that the battery was low. But anyway, I think we've waffled on for long enough, so we'll just stop at 2014. And there may be more good writing, and so if you're curious, go and look me up on Vocal Media under Memories 15th of May if you want to finish this video. I'm not going to come back and make part 2 because I'm tired now, and there's probably only a few little bits and pieces left for the even date anyway. And I'm happy with what I already presented to you. So have a beautiful day wherever you are in the space-time continuum. And there's my bamboo tree, and everything's just lovely, and be happy no matter what. Goddess bless. Much love to you all from Sacred Space at Titania's Realm. Bye for now.